Musicals suck.
This one does. We watched Grease 2. Is this what sanity looks like? Hello and welcome to the 33rd episode of Good, Bad, or Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies and tell you if you should too. I am your host, sporting the All-Father, Odin himself, Mr. Brian Shogo, joined by my co-host, at least in physical form, if not completely mentally, Mr. Kyle Henton.
Just trying to get out as long as I could.
Yeah. And this is Good, Bad, or Bad. Kyle, today we watched
Piece of fucking shit.
Grease 2, a movie that has no right existing.
Okay, I'm just gonna get this out of the way right now. Brian, your opinion on musicals?
I like some musicals. I'm not a big musical person. I don't love them. I'm like, oh my god, musicals. But there's plenty of musicals I like quite a bit.
This is an example of why I go into every musical thinking that this is going to be shit and boring and completely wasting my time.
This is the epitome of a bad musical.
Well, every single time I go to a musical, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. Unless it's... Musicals have to be done a certain way.
Yeah.
Story first, then figure out a way to work in the songs. Don't
music,
make a bunch of songs and then try to stitch them Frankenstein together.
This is exactly the and Grease. I guess it's been a long time since I've seen the original Grease, but it probably doesn't suffer from this as much, I would assume, because it's much more loved than Grease 2. But this is just like fucking High School Musical movies where it's just songs about nothing, just things happening. It's
back to school.
Yeah. It's just nothing. They're just singing what's happening, and it has no relevance to anything, and the songs are terrible, and the people can't sing. Good Lord, if I had to listen to our main lead dude sing. Upon the air, you won't find me, 'cause it's a portrait of the artist. Anymore. He's terrible.
I don't think that's him. I think he's dubbed.
Well, they're dubbed him with somebody terrible. It is depressing. So we watched this movie because my girlfriend has been desperately wanting us to watch this film for quite some time, and I finally succumbed because it's her birthday. And boy, I'm rethinking a lot about my life right now.
Should show you what Brian's willing to cave for.
We're gonna be late. Let's go.
Let's start this thing off. It's like a Band-Aid. We just gotta rip it off, Kyle. We just gotta rip it off. We keep hesitating getting into it. It's not gonna make it any better. Opens up 1961. Rydell High School. We're back at and again, I don't remember a lot about Grease. I've seen it at least once or twice, but it's been a long time. So we're back at the high school, and the first thing that sticks out to me in this film, and this is a problem with lots of films, but boy, God in heaven, is this one of the worst that I've ever seen. Not a single person at this high school is even remotely passable as a high schooler.
Thanks. Ooh, I still see you giving lube jobs at the old man's service station.
Stop it, Goose.
So what's the story, Stephanie? Yeah, what's the story?
Not even remotely. They all look 40.
Except for Pamela Adlon.
But she's not even in high school, right? She's like a middle schooler or something
like that.
Which is hilarious because she is 16 when this was filmed. She's the only one that's supposed to be high school aged, or that is high school aged. And when she's standing in that one scene next to our main character, she's like half his height. She looks like a fucking toddler next to him.
Yeah.
Because I think she's supposed to be in middle school or maybe a freshman or something. I don't know. So, anyways.
I don't know you. That's my purse.
Yes, Pamela Adlon, the voice of Bobby Hill, is in this fucking movie.
Life stinks.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you'll do.
Great. The name's Michael. Michael Carrington.
Name's Dolores. Dolores Rebcha.
Which, if you've seen this movie a long time ago and you just forgot about it and blotted it out of your brain, which I understand. Yeah. That's a fun fact. You will be like, wait, what? Because she is in this movie and plays the little kid who's like hangs out with them now and then. And yeah, voice of Bobby Hill, Louis' girlfriend for the first couple seasons of Louis, or on, not really girlfriend, but whatever. And she's been in a ton of stuff.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
Open up Rydell High School, first song, Back to School. Boy, do we know right off the bat that this is going to be about as bad as this things get.
Yeah. It's...
Geometry and history is just a pain. Biology and chemistry destroys my brain. Well, don't they know that I deserve a better fate? I'm really much too young to matriculate.
And the other first thing that stuck out to me during this big opening musical number where they're like just fucking singing about being back at school, and we were introduced to the T-Birds, and I was like, is that? What's that guy's name? And as a guy, you'll see him. I'm going to put him in before I tell you his name. You'll be like, oh, I know that guy. What's that guy from? And I was like, I got to Google real quick. Fucking Christopher McDonald. And where isn't you know him?
Happy Gilmore.
Shooter McGavin. And I was like, holy shit, that's Shooter McGavin. And the hilarious thing, I'm like, he looks like he's 35 in this movie.
Thanks. Ooh, I still see you giving lube jobs at the old man's service station.
Stuff it, Goose.
So what's the story, Stephanie?
Yeah, what's the story?
And he is. He's like 30.
Chris McDonald, you don't know this, but he's in everything.
He is in everything.
He is in everything.
He's been in 100, I don't know, hundreds. But he's been in
The Iron Giant, he played the FBI guy.
Now, you are going to tell me about this thing. You are going to lead me to it, and we are going to destroy it before it destroys us. Just hold that thought and stay right there.
He's in tons of stuff. And a lot of time he plays a dick, but he's a T-Bird in this. And again, it's like, that was the first one where I'm like, how? That dude is like 30. He's not in high school. He looks like an old man. Like, and then when you see Paulette, the one blonde from the Pink Ladies or whatever, she looks like a middle-aged housewife. I'm like, what are these? These are not high school kids. This is ridiculous.
Paulette, you gotta put your fingers in the holes.
I'm not breaking my nails.
And so when we were introduced to our main character, I love he gets off the bus, he's British, and it says the actor's name, and his name is Maxwell Caulfield. And I'm like, is there a douchier name than Maxwell Caulfield? and he looks exactly like a Maxwell Caulfield should look. It's like a fucking douche.
Dolce & Gabbana, Luan, the new fragrance for men.
And then, the only returning character, unless there's some other minor ones, is Frenchie.
Eugene, as well. Who's the Poindexter talking guy?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I say there
the
might
guy
be
who
some
voiced
little...
Mandark from Dexter's Lab.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So she's like the biggest character that returns, and the way they have her return is the most hand-wavy nonsense. They're just like, she's like, yeah, I left, I graduated, and then I sucked at stuff, and now I'm back to do chemistry so I can
blow
make
up the
makeup.
School.
But now the most important thing in my life is skincare.
So, tinting's out and skincare's in.
Right. That's why I'm back at Rydell. To get my chemistry so I can mix my own cosmetics.
So I can make makeup.
Yep.
Like,
No, you're gonna burn down the school.
no. Well, yeah. That was the first thing we see with her is during like that opening montage after the song, or not even during the song. I don't even remember. All this just, the music just. She's like in the chemistry lab and she dumps some stuff in a thing and like all this blue purple smoke starts billowing out, and I'm like, you just killed everybody in that room. Like I was a chemistry major for a year, and one of the first safety tips that you always hear, and I could be wrong, this is how I remember it, is if you ever do anything and all of a sudden copious amounts of a colored or opaque smoke or vapor starts, that's very bad. You need to get that in a hood and get the fuck out of there, because chances are that's toxic or that's super bad and it's gonna fucking kill you. And I was like, well, she's probably killed that whole classroom of students. That would be great. It's like the opening scene, she just yeah, blows up the school, and then we could not watch this movie.
Now, Rydell is very proud of her extracurricular activities.
And it was when they're walking, and the T-Birds are walking into the school. I was like, I'm legitimately impressed by the amount of smoke these 4 men are producing. Like, there's just like this like industrial cloud of like smoke around them from the cigarettes they're smoking. And then one of them takes, and how does this happen? He takes a fucking like a bass case thing from somebody, like steals it from a band nerd, and then he's running with it, and then the song ends, and they're all inside, and the camera pans up, and it's at the top of the flagpole. Yeah. Did he tie it, and did he throw it?
It's a movie.
That's not an excuse.
You're asking a movie whose predecessor has freaking Danny Zuko flying off in a car at the end.
It's true. It's true. There's no flying cars in this one.
No.
No flying cars. Flying motorcycles.
Arguably.
Yeah, flying motorcycles. I love one of the pink ladies, or is that what they're fucking called? What a terrible name.
The pink ladies pledge to act cool, to look cool, and to be cool. Till death do us part. Think pink.
One of them, the girl is super self-conscious about her nose.
From the front, this is a perfect nose. From the side, this nose does not belong on this face.
So dump the face and keep the nose.
And how big her nose is. And every time I see her, I'm like,
Velma?
That's a normal nose. Like, it's just a nose. Like, it looks the same as everybody else's. And I was like, I don't understand. You couldn't have, like, made it look big? Yeah. I don't get it. And yeah, she did look like Velma. Zoinks! So we get to the band field, and this is where we're introduced to the fact that, what's his name? I don't even know our main character's name. Michael sees Michelle Pfeiffer's character, Stephanie, for the first time, and he's super into her.
He's just like, not like ogling. Is it
Yeah.
ogling?
Ogling, whatever. One of the two.
But it's enough to where like Frenchie's being like,
Hey,
well,
man.
you don't want to go near her.
No.
Michael, I wouldn't even look.
You don't want to do
crazy
that.
accent.
Yeah. And I love, because while this is happening, the 2 super hot twin cheerleaders run up to him and are like, hey, can we suck your dick? And he's like, get the fuck out of my face.
I will not take no for an answer. Michael! Well...
Oh, okay, I'll do it. Why not?
Oh, I think he's kind of cute.
And I'm like, dude, what are you... You're like missing the forest for the trees here, man. Like, they want you. Okay, whatever, fine. Just ignore them. And so we find out he can't date her because she's a pink lady and he's not a T-Bird, and they only date T-Bird. I was like, was that ever a thing in schools where like there were gangs where like they only, like, I get the whole clique idea, but like this is like there are very strict rules that if you're in this group, you cannot date people from another. It's very weird.
Uh-oh. Michael, I think there's something you don't understand. You see, Stephanie Zanoni is a pink lady, which means if you're not a T-Bird, which you are not, you can look, but don't touch.
They bring up to the fact to him, like, can you play piano?
I heard you know how to play the piano.
Where'd you hear that from? Well, I can a bit.
And oh boy, can he.
Not. I lost my mind at that moment where they cut to the inside in the theater.
Yeah, they're auditioning for this talent show is what's going on.
Yeah.
And Michael is playing the piano.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, woodchuck.
Dolores, all right? What's happening? Oh, how he impressed.
Brad.
Does this song stink or what? It's all right? What's all right? What's all right? What?
I could do a better job pretending to play piano. It's literally above the key, like waving and banging his hands. He doesn't move any of his fingers into. He's just like, and it's like the song is very clear, like, and he's like, I'm like, it's not. Come on, dude. It's like you're not even fucking trying.
It's all right. What's happening? Oh, how he impressed.
Brad.
Does this song stink or what?
It's ridiculous. I loved it. It was a little point in the football field. Why is there like an 8-foot deep giant pit in the middle of the football field.
If I had to guess,
something with track and field.
If I had to guess, that was like a foundation for something that they were starting to lay.
Okay.
I just don't know why it wasn't, blocked
off or anything.
Yeah.
I was like, this seems very dangerous.
But the rival motorcycle gang comes up.
Oh,
too,
that's right. Yeah.
Who the guy who looks like acid's been thrown on his face.
He looks like he fell down a flight of stairs made of acid, like face first. Like that's mean, but he's he's a haggard man. He apparently was in the first one. I think he was.
He looks like he's nearly 40.
Balmuto. He is, and that's the thing, because I think that gang they're not high school age. They're like older. Like, why are they fucking with high school kids? Like, why are they like, hey, T-Birds, we're gonna fuck you up? I'm like, they're a high school. Why do you give a shit? Like, what? I don't understand why your gang is like going after some punk kids. Like, you're a bunch of fucking drug dealing biker gang. Like, go do your own thing. Doesn't make any sense.
You should take care of them tonight.
Tonight, we bowl.
Hey, you're lucky. We're bowling tonight.
I like that.
Bowling.
Bowling. It's bowling time, baby. And the first thing I have here is fuck that guy. Fuck that guy that runs down the lane and throws the ball into the pins from 3 feet away.
By the way, that's a cheap ass bowling alley for not oiling those lanes properly.
They would be fucking flying and falling on their ass. Yeah, when they're all like running down the lane. But I was like, there's always that dick when you go bowling that's like, hey, guy, what's this? I'm gonna run down the lane. Like, nobody likes that guy. You're an idiot. Don't do that.
Yeah. the entire time, throughout the entire thing, I was like, if I could find a single fucking person in this bowling alley that doesn't commit a foul or a fault, is it a fault? I just call it a fault. Yeah. Who doesn't commit a fault, I would be shocked.
Walt would be losing his goddamn, or not Walt. What's?
Who am I? I'm a fucking veteran. That's who I am.
Over the line, Market Zero, Smokey.
Walter.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who cares about the goddamn rules?
Just imagine him being there. He would just murder all of these kids. That would be the best end of this movie ever. It's like it takes place in an alternate alley, and like it's happening at the bowling alley that the Big Lebowski, or that Lebowski and Walter and them are bowling at, and he just pulls out his gun and murders all these kids.
But like literally everybody's over the line whenever they're pushing their balls in choreography.
Over the line! Over the line! Over the line!
And we're introduced to Paulette, who's one of the pink girls, and is the guy who used to date Michelle Pfeiffer, like the main T-Bird.
Johnny.
Is now dating her, or wants to be dating her, or whatever. But man, this is that scene where I'm looking at her and he's like super into her. I'm like, she literally could not look more like a middle-aged housewife. Like, this is the least convincing 16, 17-year-old. It's ridiculous. Like, she looks like an old lady. Like, I don't.
Well, they all look like they're in their
and I looked it up.
30s almost.
She was like 30 when they filmed this. It's like all these people were 30 when this was filmed. How did they? All right, whatever. And then they just sing "We're Gonna Score Tonight" for
sex.
12 goddamn minutes.
The sex.
Every song in this movie is about sex, and none of them are interesting.
We're gonna score tonight. We're gonna rock, we're gonna roll, we're gonna bop, we're gonna bowl. Score, 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 score.
And then, like, because that's the thing where it's like, Paulette is like 50, and Johnny says something about her. He's like, ooh, she's a...
What disease? Nymphoid mania.
She's got nymphoid mania, and I'm like, she's probably menopausal, honestly, at this point. Like, I thought. And as I read, the fucking song won't end. How many times can you sing "We're Gonna Score Tonight" in a single song?
All right, you chipmunks, ready to sing your song?
I'll say we are. Yeah. Let's sing it now.
It just goes on forever. And that's one of my biggest problems with this whole musical, or this whole movie, is every song. It's boring, and every song repeats for like... There gotta be 5-minute long songs, or 6-minute long songs, and they just sing the same thing over and over and over again. And you end it after 3 minutes, but they don't. They do it another 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my god, this is fucking brutal. This is so brutal. This is so bad. Spoilers, I think you're getting a hint of where we might be going with our final outcome on this movie.
That's for best average. Now what about for best score?
Johnny's like, I still want Michelle Pfeiffer's and all that.
Yeah.
Why am I talking like I'm from New York?
Yo. Yeah.
I got the fist going.
He really wants her, but
I'm gonna kiss the next guy that walks through this door.
Yeah, independent. I kiss who I want, when I want.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I could kiss the next guy who walks through that door if I want. Yeah?
At first, it's an old man.
Yeah, and they're like, nah, okay, the next guy who's not gross and old. Fuck old people, am I right?
Yeah. So it's Michael, and then everybody leaves, and like Dolores has to pick up all the shoes, the bowling shoes.
Fuck Dolores. Oh my god. So yeah, and then he has a little scene with Pamela Adlin where he's walking with her, and this is that scene where it's like he's like 4 feet taller than her. I'm like,
and she's on a skateboard too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I'm like, how old are these people supposed to be? It's fucking crazy.
I don't know you.
That's how that scene should end. I don't know you, and then skates off and. Oh, so then there's a substitute in one of the next scenes, and I love this substitute because, well, and the reason there's substitute is because there's this really hilarious gag where the old teacher's like got a panic
heavily
disorder.
medicated and is like on the verge of stress heart attack every day.
That's another thing about this movie is it's so, and I don't say this term lightly because it's an annoying term or can be, but this movie's so try hard, like at being funny. Like everything is played so like, look how funny this is, and it's like it's like watching a bad like Adam Sandler film where it's like this is just I'm not.
Well, it does have
upset.
Christopher McDonald.
Yeah.
Well, moron, good for Happy Gilmore. Oh my God.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Like I just.
But this is the reproduction song.
Yes, and the American substitute looks he's like anti-Giles from Buffy. He looks exactly like Giles, except he's like American. It's fucking weird. I was like, is that Giles? And then he started talking. I was like,
I like how you're like, he looks exactly like this person,
except American.
But he also looks American.
Well, he has an American accent, was my point. Later, he looks like Alton Brown at the talent show. He looks insanely like Alton Brown. He's got a little bow tie, and I was like, holy shit. So... the big number, reproduction. This is probably the song most people have seen.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because...
Could you feel the hormones in the room?
Yeah. Those hormonal 30-year-olds. Everybody in this is such bad singers. All the songs are written. They just sing the same. Every verse, they sing the same note. It's like ba 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 da 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 da. Like there's no range.
When a warm-blooded mammal in a tight little sweater starts pulling that stuff, she's saying that she wants to do it.
Can a girl just do that thing in a book where she adds up the days of her, what do you call it?
Because none of them can fucking sing, I don't think. And it's so boring. But so they start talking about reproduction, and but he's like comparing it to plants, and so instead of like talking about dicks and vaginas, he's like stamens and pistils and blah 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 blah.
The parts of a flower are so constructed that very, very often the wind will cause pollination. Now you see just how the stamen gets its lusty dust onto the stigma.
And it's just
pollen.
Tell her not to go near the window with the tree. Just tell her.
Baby, don't go near the window with the tree.
Oh, no. Pollen, and then they start singing about reproduction, and I honestly just kind of like sat there like, is this really happening to me right now? Is this...
Reproduction, baby, give it to me now.
Oh, and this is the line. This song has the line that might be the worst thing I've ever heard, is that one woman stands up and goes, make my damn it, I already ruined it because I want to say the other word. She says, make my stamen go berserk. And the way she says it, and just the context and the fact that it's like a plant thing, and then the word berserk oddly really upsets me in that moment. Something about that sentence was like, I feel violated by this movie. Like, I don't.
This movie is a piece of fucking shit.
And I love earlier we missed a little short thing right after the musical or the rehearsal or whatever. There's a line where our guy's talking to Michelle Pfeiffer, and he goes, "Are you free after school?"
I wanted to ask if you're free after school today.
And she says, "I'm free every day. It's in the Constitution."
Yeah, I'm free every day. It's in the Constitution.
But she has a little number about like how she wants a cool guy or some bullshit.
I'll be holding on tight to a cool rider.
And I love it because it's like a moving like rock number, but the first minute of it, she just sits in a still single close up for like a moving rock number. She's just like singing it sitting. And like a one shot locked down. These people have no idea how to make a musical. Like, they have no idea. And then when she leaves after that number, it's one of my favorite things in musical anyways, but she's singing and she like skips off through campus and everybody else is just existing normally. And like, I just love the idea where a character's in a musical are singing, but the rest of the characters aren't.
Do a whole musical from the perspective of somebody having a normal day life.
Yeah, just this woman comes out singing about how she wants a cool guy skipping past you into the distance, and you're just like eating your lunch, like, what is happening? I don't understand what my life is. So he wants to buy a motorcycle. Our main guy wants to buy a motorcycle so he can be a cool guy to impress.
He needs money. Yeah. And I guess the main problem is he doesn't exactly have a work visa or something like that.
I guess. So he's got to go blackmail or on black market with.
Yeah. So he does other people's, does the T-Birds work
Yeah.
homework assignments for cash.
Yeah. And I guess they thought it was a really funny running gag that every one of the T-Birds is like, hey.
Remember, it's between us. I got a rep to protect here, okay?
Remember, I got a rep to protect, okay, Shakespeare?
I got a reputation.
Everybody knows your reputation.
Yeah, you're fucking like not gangbangers, but like kind of like you're fucking tough guy.
Gangbangers that have one dude who rides in a sidecar.
Like wannabe gangbangers. Yeah, you're like wannabe gangbangers who just like smoke in like cars, motorcycles. Like you don't fucking. It's so stupid.
Yeah, he goes to a guy who sells motorcycle parts and he builds his own motorcycle
in 5 seconds of screen time.
I gotta say, props.
Yeah. Well, he did have a book. He pulls out a book and is like, all right, build a motorcycle.
He is a rather learned person.
Yes, obviously. Comes from a long line of motorcycle builders or something. This is one of the big problems with this movie. There's just so many ideas. They're all bad ideas, but there's so many things going on. There's like the storyline with him and the motorcycle, wants to get a motorcycle so he can impress her. There's also the fucking talent show thing with the T-Birds trying to win the talent show for some reason because they want records. I don't even know. And then there's like a whole side plot where they're spying on there's like an a cappella group that's really good that they don't, and there's one scene where they're like spying on an a cappella group in a shower and they're like, we gotta get good like them. That's a normal place for an a cappella group to practice, right?
Yeah.
In the locker room shower?
Yeah, totally.
Me a dream, make her the cutest that I've ever seen. Give her 2 lips like roses and clover.
What? This movie, none of it makes any sense.
Piece of shit.
After he gets his motorcycle, he becomes like a masked crusader. And so they're at the bowling alley.
He becomes the cool rider.
The cool rider. What a name. So we get to like the bowling alley one night and or I don't even know where it is, but there's like some stuff going on and one of the bad guy, Balmuto or whatever, is outside and the T-Birds go out because they originally think it's just him and then they run out there to like go beat him up but it turns out the whole gang's there. And then all of a sudden, and they chicken out and run back inside, and then all of a sudden our masked,
everybody's there. Yeah.
Everybody's at the door, and our masked crusader comes riding up and kicks the guy as he rides by. And then it cuts to a shot of them for like 40 seconds watching what's happening, but we don't get to see anything that's happening.
Yeah, we just get the intro to a musical number.
Yeah. And then, then there's like, this is like the big set piece of like a big action beat of him like riding around, but nothing happened. He just,
and by the way, he doesn't even really do anything. They just suck at riding motorcycles.
Yeah, exactly. He just rides near them and they fall over. Like he just rides in their direction and they like can't handle it and fall over. Or he literally just like drives at them and they're like, whoa!
Oh no!
What? It's so stupid.
And where do you once again, we don't know where to go with this because it's incomprehensible.
It's so stupid. He ramps over at the end of the scene, he ramps over a police car
with no ramp.
Yeah, exactly. He just flies over a police car. I love too, because he has a moment where he like, I think it's this, it doesn't matter, where he's like face to face with Michelle Pfeiffer, and she doesn't realize it's him.
All right.
Like that's the whole beat is that it's like
got the goggles and the helmet. And,
bullshit. There's a shot clear as day, and later in the movie where you see him with the goggles, you can see his eyes.
Yeah.
You can see through them. You can see his eyes. You can see this whole part of his face. The only thing you can't see is his hair.
Whoa! Those pompadours are very identifiable, right? You identify people via how much their hair jettisons from their forehead.
But it's just so obnoxious because it's like at this point it becomes like a superhero movie almost. They're not really, but like that whole she's in love with the superhero, but then he's like just the normal guy, and he wants to tell her that
gotta love this movie for promoting teen smoking, right?
Yeah, everybody fucking smokes in this movie all the time, and then she's even like, here, yeah, because at the end of that scene she's like, here, have a smoke, it'll help.
Here, have a ciggy, maybe it'll make you feel better.
And I'm like, good message, guys. Good message to all the teens watching this movie. But so they go to the bunker. So our guy, the British guy's, he's family he's staying with.
He's like, his study room is the bunker.
Yeah, they have a fallout shelter in their backyard, and he kind of hangs out in there and works. And one of the T-Birds saw it, and so he brings a girl there.
Yeah, and he has.
It's a great prank.
Christopher McDonald. By the way, Christopher McDonald's name, his character's name is Goose.
Yeah.
What about the trophy for best score, Stephanie?
I ain't no one's trophy, Goose.
I love it. So you have Goose and the little T-Bird, the short T-Bird. They go there with the
Goose and Tom Cruise
with the freaking
yeah,
exactly. Before Top Gun.
Yeah, before Top Gun, there was.
They go there with the air raid siren.
Yeah, amazing. What a prank that is. They get inside and they fucking make her think that nuclear war started.
Cause someday when you least expect it.
Kablam! Nuclear war!
What's that?
It started.
And then the guy uses patriotism and nuclear fallout in order to try to trick a woman to fucking him. It's kind of amazing and terrible and amazing.
For if we give our very best, I know that we will more than pass the test.
What are you doing, Louis? Get off of me!
Think about it. What if you and me was to die right here tonight without ever doing it?
So he sings a song about how, like, do it for America or whatever.
And by the way, I thought that guy kind of looked familiar. The dude singing in this.
Yeah,
it's the bank manager from The Inside Man.
Yes! Holy shit, it is.
The guy
yes.
with
I knew I knew him from
for
somewhere.
the gold digger for his ringtone.
Oh my god, I knew him from something. Holy shit, that was driving me crazy. The whole movie. I was like, this guy, I've seen him in something. And he also pronounces nuclear like you do.
It's nuclear, Lewis.
Yeah. Nuclear.
Oh yeah,
Nuclear.
Nuclear.
How do I pronounce it?
You sometimes say nuclear instead of nuclear, but it doesn't matter. They have a little bit about it.
No, it matters. It matters because you make a point of it.
Tomorrow I'll be fighting, and I'll win this war for you. Let's do it for our country. Our country wants us to.
It's like right after this where we both looked at the timer.
Yes,
by the way, we watched this individually.
Yeah.
We both looked at the timing bar and we're like, we're an hour in. There's still an hour to go.
This is exactly the moment.
Fucking damn
This
it.
is exactly the moment where I was like, wait, what? An hour left? Because this is where it really drags. I mean, not that the rest of it's not, doesn't drag, but this from hour to from the moment where he meets up with her, where our guy meets up with her on the bike and they ride around for a while, and then the T-Birds go and sing about we got to find somewhere we can get guaranteed to get a fuck.
I think we could all use a little guaranteed all the way action. And I know just the place.
And they're going on the prom. Are they going to the brothel? What are they?
Well, brothel's apparently a fucking grocery store.
Yeah, it's very weird. They just end up singing a song about grocery store. Basically, it's code for a brothel. Symbolism, maybe? I don't know. It's weird.
And they treat it like Gilbert Grapes.
Yeah. Okay, and then the worst song I think I've ever heard in any musical ever.
Is it Charades? The Charade song?
I don't know. No, it's the one. It's the one the main dude sings.
Yeah.
Called "Real Me" or whatever.
Yeah, that one's called Charade on the soundtrack.
Holy fucking shit!
That is just
holy fucking shit! It's the worst song I've ever heard in a musical, and it's forever long. And it just.
Oh, please don't mind me performing at my hardest as I paint upon the air.
I couldn't believe, and he's not a good singer, or
No,
whoever's singing is not a good singer. He has no range.
Inside me, but can't you feel the real me?
This is another one. This is exactly why I was watching this, and I was like, please God, please make this stop, please.
It's so bad. It's just about trying to find the real me or something. Or I don't even know, but it's so boring. And all the songs in this are so empty and just basically just choruses for 5 minutes. There's a little verse here and there, but then they just repeat the same fucking. It's oh my god, it's so bad.
Behind my charades, can't you feel the real me? Behind my charades.
I love this line. This is where the motorcycle jumps. So they something happens at before the talent show. And
the T-Birds were chasing.
T-Birds are
Michael.
chasing. Yeah, the T-Birds are chasing Michael because they don't want him getting with Michelle Pfeiffer, and they chase him, and he jumps over a ravine or something.
Dead Man's Curve.
Yeah. But I love in the girls are in the pink Cadillac or whatever chasing them, and the one girl has a line that says. She says, "We're gonna die, and I'm wearing my mother's underwear."
We're gonna die, and I'm wearing my mother's underwear.
And I wrote, "What? Somebody has been reading my dream journal." It's just that is a fucking hell of a line. I love that line.
But they think that he's dead.
Yeah, they don't.
Even though they don't have a body, they don't have any kind of debris or crash.
Yeah.
Where is he?
He ain't down there. What do you mean he ain't down there? Where'd he go? Biker heaven?
Oh, I know he's dead.
They're super vague about it because they're like, well, maybe he died, but then some of them are like, well, there's nothing down there. So.
Michelle Pfeiffer's pretty goddamn convinced
she's
he's
like
dead.
crying, convinced he's dead. But they all have to get to the talent show because this is the big. It's not even the big ending, but it's the big ending.
I do
before
like
the
how
big
the T-Birds tied up the acapella group.
Hey, come on, guys.
Yeah, the acapella
at the shower,
group.
and then turn the water on them. Acapella or
acapella?
But
no, it's
whatever.
acapella.
Kyle's wrong at a lot of things. One of them being how to speak.
I want that green suit. The guy who's like whatever, doing whatever it is.
Like the guy who's clearly on fucking ecstasy and singing.
Right.
If your sweetheart sends a letter of goodbye.
This is like another one of those moments where I'm like, movie, you have to try a little less hard. Like, I need you. It's making me uncomfortable how hard you're trying to be funny. I can't with this.
Go on and go.
Let go of me.
Hey, but I want that suit though. That fucking green suit is pretty badass. That's true. That dude's totally.
They do the Prowler song, which explodes to thunderous applause.
Yeah.
And then they finally do this "Girl for All Seasons" song.
Yeah.
And it ends with Michelle Pfeiffer having no clue what to fucking do.
Oh, and what are they wearing? They're all just in like insane get-ups and costumes.
Yeah, well, it's songs. It's
yeah, I know. It's
in,
seasons, right? I get it, but they're still dressed like insane people. And then during this, she has like a fever dream.
Yes.
And imagines like a nuclear fallout winter. Of like,
then she has a duet with somebody who is technically not there.
Yeah.
Which ends with thunderous applause.
Yeah, she sings a duet with Michael. And again, I can't stress enough, this set looks like a nuclear winter fell on like a motorcycle
there's
graveyard.
Debris. There's just debris all over the place.
And it's like all white and snowy and weird. I'm like, what is this? What am I looking at? What are you trying to express with this? Like, what is the message? Let's try to deep dive, uncover. What does that mean? Like, I was like, maybe it has to do
motorcycle heaven?
I guess. I don't know. Like, I was like, what is this? So fucking weird.
I just close my eyes and bring back yesterday.
And we'll be there together.
And then I was also like, what are the stakes here? Somebody wants to win a talent show?
Yeah.
Like,
and
that's
then they have
stakes.
Then something we didn't even know was part of it, co-winners.
The winners of the talent contest and the king and queen of the Lonnie Kelani Luau, Mr. Nogarelli and Miss the No Name.
Yeah, the girl, she wins and is the queen or whatever, and then I don't know how they decided that Johnny from the T-Birds was the guy that would win, because their group won, but he's the winner.
Yeah.
And so he's like the king of the fuckfest.
And then they have a
Whatever.
RoccoW.
Oh, the luau. And this is the thing, is like there's like 10 minutes left at this point, and you would think that the talent show was gonna be like the big finale.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
There's a fucking luau. But this luau, the first minute or so of this luau scene are like the only good part of this whole movie. I think legitimately the first opening of the luau when it's daytime and they're all singing, it's actually kind of a good fun song, and it's kind of reminded me of like an actual original Grease from what I remember, of like good fun like kind of rockabilly like music and like well choreographed and stuff going on and visually interesting.
Everybody's here and we're waiting for you now. We're gonna stick together, everyone let's go. We're letting everybody know. It's a luau.
And it lasts for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But like and then a motorcycle runs in and just shits all over it. Which I guess actually is really like symbolic of this film in
whenever
general.
whenever the motorcycle gang comes in, there's one of them that goes through a table and then is clearly wiping out.
I hope some of the stuntmen died making this movie. They deserve it. I owe unapologetic in that stance.
But Michael is, of course, alive. And he jumps on his motorcycle and just drives around again, and the other people have no clue how to drive a motorcycle and fall into the pool.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he just shows up and he's like, all right, I'm going to jump over the pool.
He's alive.
And then some idiots are going to try to
jump over the
too.
pool on this ramp that is right here that you can see on scene.
Yeah.
Look at this ramp right
Yeah, it's
here.
the ramp they used to walk them up into the
No,
pool.
those are stairs they used to walk them up during the pool. You can clearly see a ramp that's about a good solid 6 inches above that.
Yeah.
It's like, what? That wasn't there.
And then wasn't there like a bunch of bikers initially that came in? And
then there's just
two.
like 3 or 2
Yeah,
or something
that like
that.
try to. And what is the point of jumping after him? He's just right there. Just drive around the pool and go kick his ass and kill him or whatever. I don't even know what their goal is. What is the goal of the bikers? To fuck up this luau for no reason?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're dickheads? Like, and why are there no security or anything? This is a school function. There's not like any cops there like to make sure, I don't know, a bike gang doesn't show up and kill a bunch of high school kids. I fucking hate this movie. It's so stupid. Like, it just...
But mercifully, this movie ends.
Yes.
It ends, and I've never been so happy to turn off whatever video player I'm using.
Yeah. And then the resolution with Johnny. Johnny comes over and is gonna like kick his ass. Johnny, the main T-Bird, comes over and is gonna like kick his ass, but then for no reason is like, you know what? Never mind.
Here, you're a T-Bird now.
You're a T-Bird. Have a coat.
Jacket.
Jacket.
For starters, let's see how it looks.
And I thought the whole point of it was kind of breaking that.
Yeah,
that,
breaking the barriers.
Breaking the barriers.
Nope, you're just in the club now. You're just in the club. Not breaking down walls, motherfucker. We're just keeping them up, but we just include you now. Like, fucking, There, at one point, I love this, there's a step line. They're, like, doing, like, a step line thing. And the main character, dude, the British guy, it very clearly looks like he's just, like, looking off camera at people and, like, laughing at how stupid this is. Like, in the middle of the movie, he's just like, what the fuck what are we doing?
This movie is cancer and not worth watching.
This movie is as bad as we've had, probably.
There's nothing about this that's even... Aside from that piano thing.
There's a couple little moments, but not even close to something like Undefeatable teetered pretty close on the edge of good, bad versus bad. Yeah. Like, because it had a lot of good, bad moments, but it just, yeah. This one, there's no teetering. It's teetering off the edge of a cliff into infinite death and sadness. Like,
the abyss of bad.
Yeah, like, it's fucking terrible.
This was the the difference between watching a movie that is fun to watch and a movie that is not fun to watch, and this is the equivalent of scraping sandpaper on my face the entire time.